So we're down here by the river, Colorado River, and this is Rifle, Colorado. It's not too far from Grand Junction on our way to Utah. And we're just spending a little time down here doing some video editing. We had a little excitement. A man who we think was diabetic and possibly dehydrated. He passed out and hit his head. Luckily, Scott is trained in CPR and other things, and he cared for the man for the several minutes it took for the ambulance to get here, and now they're taking him away. Terry's over here talking to a friend of his. Wanted to make sure that his belongings were safe, because his truck will be sitting here unattended probably. And I'm wondering if that's his dog. Can you see the dog under the truck? We're gonna figure all this out before we leave here. So we've been hanging out at a park. Well, it's not even a park. It's like an old boat launch that you can no longer launch your boats. Just because it's got kind of a nice view of the river. But we are gonna hit the road and find a little nicer park. We're questioning maybe a little Sketchy here. That guy who went to the hospital, he came back and he was okay, so it's good. But yeah, we're gonna go find a nicer park. So the town we're in is called Rifle, and all of the signs have guns on them. It's pretty funny. So we found a little reservoir, and the temperature is cooler here. I think we're up a little bit higher in elevation, but not much. And I think it's mostly just because the sky, it's a little overcast, and it just feels much cooler, more tolerable, a little bit more humidity, which is nice. Terry and Scott are, well, I don't know, they're over here somewhere. I wanted to see if I could get across this, I don't know if you call that a levee or whatever. I wanted to see if the river is on the other side of this reservoir. On the map it looks like it should be just between the reservoir and the hills here. Yeah, I'm just feeling a little adventurous right now. I took my van and went around the other side of the reservoir to seeing if there were better places to camp, but there were other places, but I don't think they were better. This is apparently popular with people who do water skiing and tubing and things like that. At one time, I think there were 4 boats out there, and now it looks like there's just 2. And all of them were doing the tubing. Oh no, there's 3. There's one over here too. Looks like no one's really camping here though. It looks like everyone's just coming for day use. They're also fishing for bass here. And yeah, I like it. It's a different look. We're in northwestern Colorado. We're about a little over an hour from where we were last, which was called Rifle, Colorado. And this, the closest little town, which I don't think is much of a town, it's like right over here. There's like a few buildings and a house. I don't know. I think that's called White River City. And we are close to the White River. We are on our way into Utah. The majority of this area is really hot. Not so much up here, which, well, it's hot here too, but it's hotter down where we were. And we were going to go to Grand Junction, but it's like 102 or something today in Grand Junction. Aja wanted to go to Moab National Park and Arches, but it's 110 today, I think. There's just no way I would go there this time of year. This is hot enough, and it's like 90 here. Might be actually cooler. Might be in the 80s right now because of the overcast skies. Oh, there's the river. Can you see it? There? Not real big. And yeah, the river must wrap around this reservoir. We were hoping the reservoir would be kind of sandy, but it's actually like a clay bottom one, which is the same as what Lake Meredith was, where we were before. It's not ideal, but because you kind of sink into it, it's okay. It's just nice to be able to take a dip when it's so warm. This area must get runoff from the river too. It's very lush and green, and you can just hear it's full of birds. The talking you can hear is it's people on the boats. When their engines are off, their voices they carry all across this thing. It's not that big of a body of water. It's big enough, but big enough to have some pretty big speedboats on it. Actually, the big boat is not out there right now, I don't think. These ones out here are kind of small. But voices carry. So this is the White River. And from this vantage point, I would not name it that. I'd probably call it the Dark Brown River. As soon as these boaters go home, this is going to be one quiet, peaceful place. Because other than the boats, all I can hear are birds and not much else. Not even many cars going by or anything. And if the skies clear up a little bit, I bet you there's going to be some good stargazing, because there are no lights. No civilization around here. I just ate a bug. I wonder if I'm going to be able to see that on video. Or that if you could see that on video. It flew by my mouth right when I was inhaling. And I felt it hit the back of my throat. Yum. That was my appetizer. Thousands of little dragonflies here. I don't know if you can see them, little blue guys.
Okay, I'm taking my, what, are you taking that down? There you go.
Are you coming
grab
in?
it for you. Huh?
Aren't you gonna come in?
No, please.
Where are you boxing?
What we did.
It's only grasshoppers.
I can't get in. I'm afraid I'll kill a fish with my toenail. Well, you at least descale the damn thing.
Well, get in.